So in this lecture, we are going to discuss the formation of a PN junction diode. Now for formation of a PN junction diode, we take a single chip of either silicon or germanium, and in this single chip of silicon and germanium one side is doped with a trivalent impurity. So when one of the side is doped with trivalent impurity, this region becomes rich in holes when it is doped with trivalent impurity, while the other region is doped with the pentavalent impurity. So the other region becomes rich in electrons. So the region which is rich in holes is termed as a P region, while the region which is rich in electrons, it is termed as N region. Now when one of the region becomes rich in holes, we have already discussed that these holes, they do not possess their own identity, but the absence of electron is termed as a presence of hole. So these are just the vacant positions that electron can occupy, and in this region the concentration of electrons becomes very large, and therefore concentration gradient is produced. So concentration gradient means it is like a temperature gradient. You can imagine like the gradient of a temperature, that inside a room, if temperature in one room in one region, if it is larger than the other region of the same room, then you know that heat flows from high temperature to low temperature due to temperature gradient. So in a similar way, here there is a concentration gradient is produced. So concentration of electrons is more in this N region, while the concentration of holes is more in the P region. And due to that, the electrons which are present in the N side, they will try to diffuse from N side to P side in order to occupy these vacant positions. Similarly, if an electron leaves from N side to P side, then it will leave behind a hole in the N side. So this is called as diffusion. So this is called as diffusion. So electrons will try to diffuse from N side to P side, and if electron tries to diffuse from N side to P side in order to occupy this vacant position, then it will leave behind a hole, that is the vacancy position in the N region. So if the silicon atoms in this vicinity which accept the electron, they become the negatively charged ion, while the silicon atoms in this vicinity, they loses one electron, and therefore they become a positively charged ions, and hence a layer of negatively charged ions and a layer of positively charged ions is produced in this region. So a layer of positively charged ions and negatively charged ions is produced in this region, and it will constitute a potential, and that potential is called as potential barrier. So that potential is called as potential barrier. Now once the potential barrier is developed in this region, can further diffusion of electrons from N side to P side is possible? Can these electrons which are present in the N side, can they get diffused from N side to P side? Is the diffusion of electrons possible once the barrier potential is developed? No, because electron being a negatively charged particle, it will be repelled by the layer of this negatively charged ions in this region. Similarly, can the diffusion of holes possible from P side to N side? No. The diffusion of holes from P side to N side is prevented by the layer of these positively charged ions, because you know that like charges repel each other. So further diffusion of majority charge carriers. Now why I am mentioning the majority charge carriers? Because the majority charge carriers are holes in the P region, while the majority charge carriers are electrons from the N region. So once the barrier potential or potential barrier is developed in this region, further diffusion of electrons from N side to P side or further diffusion of holes from P side to N side is prevented by this potential barrier, and therefore the name is barrier. This barrier indicates that this potential which is developed due to the immobile charge carriers in this region is barrier to the diffusion of majority charge carriers from one region to the other region. Then this potential barrier is of the order of 0.7 volt if we are using silicon for the fabrication of this PN junction diode, and it is of the order of 0.2 volt in case of germanium. And then we say that the diode is formed. So this is how the formation of a PN junction diode takes place. Now there are two types of biasing mechanisms. One is called as a forward bias and the other one is called as reverse bias. So for forward bias, what we do is, okay, one more thing is the depletion region. So once the potential barrier VB is developed in this region, then in between these immobile charge ions in this region, neither electrons nor holes are present in this region, which are free electrons and free holes. It doesn't mean that there is no silicon structure which is present in this region. There is a presence of silicon or germanium structure in this region, but that silicon or germanium structure cannot have either free electrons or free holes. So that is why this region is depleted of free charge carriers, and hence it is called as depletion region. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then there are two types of biasing mechanisms. One is called as the forward bias, the other one is called as reverse bias. So for forward bias, this P side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and this N side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and we say that suppose if Vf is my forward potential. Now let us assume that this PN junction diode is made up of silicon. So for silicon we know what is the value of barrier potential VB. The barrier potential VB for silicon is of the order of suppose 0.7 volt. Now if I apply a forward potential of say 0.4 volt, do the current flow in the circuit?
No.
No, because the applied forward potential is small as compared to the barrier potential which exists near the depletion region, and therefore the applied forward potential is not sufficient to overcome this barrier potential, because what this positive terminal is going to perform, this positive terminal of the battery, it is going to repel the holes from P side towards N side, while the negative terminal of the battery is going to repel the electrons from N side to P side. But as the forward potential is weak as compared to that of the barrier potential which exists here, so the diffusion of charge carriers, that is diffusion of holes from P side to N side or diffusion of electrons from N side to P side, is not possible with this amount of forward potential. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So in order to achieve the flow of majority charge carriers through this depletion region, what should be done? If I want to transfer the majority charge carriers from the one side to the other side, what should be done? Since the applied forward potential is not enough, मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा?
To increase forward voltage.
I need to increase the forward voltage. So if I increase the forward voltage, how should I increase the forward voltage?
More than 0.7.
More than 0.7 volt. So as soon as I increase the forward potential more than 0.7 volt, such as say 0.71 volt or 0.72 volt, immediately it will overcome this barrier potential and the flow of holes from P side to N side is possible. Similarly, the flow of electrons from N side to P side is possible, and then transfer of majority charge carriers from one side to the other side takes place. Due to that, the current I will flow in the circuit, and that is called as the forward current. So many times here you may find the suffix F to it, indicating that this is the forward current, and we show the direction of this forward current to be in the direction of flow of holes, or it is opposite to the flow of electrons. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then you know what is the VI characteristic of this PN junction diode. We are not going to discuss the VI characteristic of this PN junction diode, but we are going to discuss the working of this PN junction diode in three conditions. That is zero bias situation, then forward bias situation, and reverse bias situation, with the help of its energy band diagram only. So okay, first we'll discuss what is the role of reverse bias. Now for reverse bias, this P side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and this N side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So by application of such reverse potential, say VR is my reverse potential, what will happen? What will happen by application of this reverse potential? These holes are the positively charged carriers. They are connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Will they get attracted towards it or get repelled by this negative terminal?
Repel. Attract.
So
Attracted.
these holes being positively charged, they get attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery. These electrons being negatively charged, they will get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. What does it mean? It means that the number of majority charge carriers which are present in P side and N side, the number of charge carriers are decreased or the number of charge carriers are evacuated from these regions. तो यहाँ पे सब पहले सपोज 10 होल्स है और यहाँ पे अगर 10 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, now due to application of this reverse potential, these 10 holes, if they get attracted towards the negative terminal and these 10 electrons get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, it means that the width of the depletion region keeps on increasing as the reverse potential keeps on increasing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Depletion region means what? It is depleted of charge carriers, free charge carriers. Either there should be electrons or holes, but neither electrons nor free holes are present in this region. So the width of the depletion region will keep on increasing as the reverse potential keeps on increasing. तो अगर जैसे जैसे रिवर्स पोटेंशियल बढ़ाते जाएंगे, द विड्थ ऑफ द डिप्लीशन रीजन जो पहले था जीरो बायस में वो कम था. So as compared to zero bias situation, the width of the depletion region will keep on increasing and therefore it becomes practically impossible to diffuse majority charge carriers from one side to the other side, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it becomes practically impossible to transfer these holes from P side to N side and practically transfer electrons from N side to P side. But there are some minority charge carriers like electrons which are present in the P side and there are some holes which are present in the N side which are the minority charge carriers. So the applied reverse potential, it will work as a forward potential for these minority charge carriers and therefore only transfer of such minority charge carriers is possible through the depletion region, but not the transfer of majority charge carriers. So this is how the reverse bias this is how when we connect the PN junction diode in reverse bias mode, this takes place, and that is why the diode will remain completely off when it is connected in reverse bias mode, and that is why the symbol of diode is shown like a triangle followed by a dash, where this triangle represents the P side, this dash represents the N side, and this arrowhead, it indicates the direction of current. So when this P side is connected to positive terminal and N side is connected to negative terminal of the battery, then it is called as a forward bias, and then only current flows along this direction. While when it is connected in reverse bias, this if this P side is connected to negative terminal and N side is connected to positive terminal, then current doesn't flow through the diode remains practically off. So it can act as a switch or a relay, and therefore diode is called as a unidirectional device. It conducts in only one direction, and therefore this property of diode can be used for construction of your rectifiers. So the function of rectifier you have studied in your basic electronics engineering course, that it is used to convert AC into DC. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are not going to discuss the VI characteristic of the PN junction diode in forward bias mode and reverse bias mode, because we have already discussed this while discussing the semiconductor laser. Now we'll discuss the band picture of a diode. So we know, we have discussed the concept of Fermi energy, and you know that in case of extrinsic semiconductor such as p-type and n-type semiconductor, if you look at them separately, if you separately look at the p-type semiconductor and consider a separate n-type semiconductor, then you know that the position of Fermi level for p-type semiconductor, it is near to the valence band. So if these are the positions of valence band and conduction band, then the position of Fermi level for p-type semiconductor, so it is denoted as EFP, and it is near to the valence band. While for n-type semiconductor, if these are the positions of conduction band and valence band, then for n-type semiconductor, as the majority charge carriers are electrons, and you know that the position of Fermi level, it depends upon the concentration of charge carriers. So concentration of holes is more in the valence band for p-type semiconductor. That's why the position of Fermi level shifts near to that of the valence band, while the concentration of electrons in the conduction band for n-type semiconductor is more, and therefore the position of Fermi level for n-type semiconductor, it will shift near to that of the conduction band. So it is indicated as EFN, while the position of Fermi level for p-type semiconductor is indicated as EFP. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, but this is the case when you look at only the p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor separately. But what about a diode? In case of a diode, there is a junction between the p-type and n-type region, and for the junction to take place like this, here there is a junction of p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor, and in order to have the junction of these two, it is necessary that the Fermi level associated with n-type semiconductor, that is EFN, it should align with the Fermi level for p-type semiconductor. It should align with the position of Fermi level for p-type semiconductor. Then only a junction between p-type and n-type is possible. Now in order that the two Fermi levels, they should align with each other, so if the Fermi level for p-type semiconductor, that is EFP, if it aligns with the position of Fermi level for n-type semiconductor, then due to this alignment, what will happen here, the conduction band associated with the n-type semiconductor has to lower down in order that it should match the position of Fermi level with the p-type semiconductor, isn't it? In order to match these two levels to a single level, the position of conduction band, it should come down to lower energy level, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It means that here the position of conduction band for n-type semiconductor, it will shift towards lower energy side as compared to the position of conduction band for p-type semiconductor, in order that these two Fermi levels should align with each other. Similarly, the position of valence band for n-type semiconductor, it will also shift towards lower energy side as compared to the position of valence band for p-type semiconductor. Due to that, an energy gap is produced between the conduction band of n-type semiconductor and the conduction band of p-type semiconductor, and the amount of that energy gap is equal to E into VB, where this E is charge of the electron, and this VB is the barrier potential. This VB is the barrier potential. So due to this gap, now tell me, okay, so the region which exists between p side and n side, this region is termed as the depletion region. So this is the depletion region which exists between p side and n side. And then we say that the diode is formed. So this is the case for zero bias situation. Zero bias means we have not applied any bias, neither forward bias nor a reverse bias is applied to the diode. So this region which exists between p side and n side is called as the depletion region. It is called as depletion region. Now when I say that for the junction to be formed, that is between p and n, what we have discussed here, in order to have a junction between p side and n side, the Fermi level for the two regions, that is Fermi level for n-type semiconductor and the Fermi level for p-type semiconductor, they should align with each other. Due to that, the band picture will orient in such a way that the energy gap is produced between the conduction band on n side and conduction band on p side. But why the two Fermi levels they should align with each other? Because if you recall the steps while formation of a p-n junction diode, what we have observed is one side is doped with trivalent impurity, other side is doped with pentavalent impurity. So when one side is doped with trivalent impurity and other side is doped with pentavalent impurity, here this region is rich in holes, the other region is rich in electrons. So due to concentration gradient, initially electrons will diffuse from n side to p side and holes will diffuse from p side to n side. Holes are diffusing means when electron leaves its position, we can say in order to occupy this position. In other words, we can say that holes are diffusing from here to that is from p side to n side, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So once the electron moves from n side to p side and occupies this position, it means that it will leave behind a hole, means we can say that diffusion of electrons and holes is possible. Once the diffusion of electrons and holes takes place, then near this depletion region, a layer of negatively charged ions and a layer of positively charged ions is produced, called as the barrier potential. And once the barrier potential is developed, further diffusion of electrons and holes is stopped. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So then we call that the diode is formed. So here, for initial diffusion of charge carriers, it is necessary that for the initial diffusion of charge carriers from n side to p side, it is necessary that the two Fermi levels they should align with each other. So that is why here the position of Fermi level for p-type semiconductor should be in match with the position of Fermi level for n-type semiconductor. Then only such initial diffusion takes place. But once the diffusion of charge carriers, initial diffusion of charge carrier takes place, then the barrier potential is developed, and that barrier potential, once it is developed near the depletion region, now here this region becomes positively charged ions. So here in this region a layer of positively charged ions is developed near the depletion region, and here a layer of negatively charged ions is developed near the depletion region. Sorry, here actually the layer of negatively charged ions is developed. So as the silicon atoms in this vicinity, they are accepting here one electron, here a layer of negatively charged ions is developed in this region, and here the silicon atoms they are losing one electron, so here a layer of positively charged ions is developed in this region, and this layer is going to give a potential barrier, and that potential barrier is of the order of 0.7 volt. That will give to the barrier potential, and that is of the order of 0.7 volt for silicon and 0.2 volt for germanium. Now once this layer is developed, the further diffusion of electrons and holes from one side to the other side is prevented by this barrier potential. What does it mean? It means that the electrons which are present in the conduction band of n side, because majority charge carriers are electrons and electrons are present in the conduction band for n-type semiconductor, while majority charge carriers are holes, and these holes are present in the valence band of the p-type semiconductor. So now tell me, without any external help, can these electrons be transferred from conduction band of n side to the conduction band of p side? Is this transfer possible without any external help?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, because these electrons,
No, sir.
these electrons, once these electrons, they will face these layer of negatively charged ions in order to cross the depletion region and enter into the conduction band of p side. Isn't it so? Electrons being negatively charged particles, they will face a layer of these negatively charged ions while passing through the depletion region, and therefore they are repelled by the layer of these negatively charged ions by the of this barrier potential back to the conduction band. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, these holes being positively charged, they are, while moving through the depletion region, they are repelled by the layer of positively charged ions in this region. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Further, how is the energy associated with the conduction band of p-type semiconductor as compared to the energy associated with the conduction band of n-type semiconductor? Is it higher or lower? Is the energy associated with the conduction band of p-type semiconductor is at higher potential as compared to that of conduction band for n-type semiconductor, or is it at lower potential?
Lower potential.
Lower potential.
Lower potential. What I am saying is, what is the energy associated with the conduction band for p-type semiconductor as compared to the energy associated with conduction band of n-type semiconductor? Is it at higher potential or lower potential?
Higher potential.
It is at higher potential. There is an energy gap which exists between the conduction band of n side and conduction band of p side, and the amount of that gap is E into Vb, where E is charge and Vb is the barrier potential. So these electrons, one thing is they will face the barrier potential, the other thing is they are not having enough energy to be transferred from conduction band of n side to the conduction band of p side. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if electrons are not diffused from n side to p side, how they will leave behind the holes? It means that holes cannot be diffused from p side to n side. So holes cannot perform their motion from the valence band of p side to the valence band of n side. So this movement of holes from valence band of p side to the valence band of n side is prevented. The movement of electrons from conduction band of n side to the conduction band of p side is prevented due to the fact that there is a barrier potential, as well as due to the fact that the energy associated with conduction band for p-type semiconductor is at higher potential as compared to the energy associated with conduction band for n-type semiconductor, as there exists an energy gap, and that amount of energy gap is E into Vb, where E is charge of the electron and Vb is the barrier potential. Is this clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
So this is the formation of energy bands in case of PN junction diode in zero bias situation. So here neither forward bias nor a reverse bias is applied. Now what will happen to the band picture of a diode when we forward bias it? So initially we know that without any bias, there is a matching of these two Fermi levels, and due to that, here an energy gap is produced between the conduction band of n side and conduction band of p side, and the amount of that gap was E into Vb. And there exists a depletion region in between the p side and n side. Now when we apply a forward bias, what will happen by application of the forward bias on the energy band diagram? If I apply a forward bias, that is, if this p side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and if this n side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and if Vf is my forward potential, then in that case, or say simply V is my forward potential, or Vf is my forward potential, then this negative terminal of the battery is going to provide energy to the electrons which are present in the conduction band of n side, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
ये इसको एनर्जी देने वाला है. It means that it is going to repel these electrons. It is going to push these electrons against the barrier potential which exists in this near the depletion region. यहाँ पे एक barrier potential है Vb, but against this barrier potential and against this depletion region, this negative terminal of the battery is going to push all these electrons, and since it is going to push these electrons against this potential, and therefore we can say in other words that this negative terminal of the battery is going to provide energy to the electrons which are present in the conduction band of n-type semiconductor. So as it is going to provide energy to the electrons present in the conduction band, so it will shift the position of this conduction band towards higher energy side as compared to that of zero bias. So here you can see a clear change in zero bias. Here you can see or compare the energy gap which exists between the conduction band of n side and conduction band of p side. Here there exists a large energy gap as compared to the forward bias. Here you can compare the energy gap between the conduction band of n side and conduction band of p side. It is now reduced as compared to that of zero bias, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
So this energy gap is reduced by an amount which is E into Vb minus E into Vf, where Vf is the forward potential. Earlier in zero bias situation, the gap was E into Vb, but now since this gap is reduced due to the forward potential, so now we can say that this gap is reduced by an amount which is E into Vb minus E into Vf, or we can take E as common and write this as small e, where small e is the charge of the electron, and it is E into Vb minus Vf. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what do you observe over here? As this energy gap is reduced, it means that the width of the depletion region is also reduced as compared to that of the zero bias situation, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
width of the depletion region is reduced, we are providing energy to these electrons so that these electrons, they should overcome the barrier potential Vb. So if I increase the forward potential more than that of the barrier potential, then these electrons, they can easily follow this path, so they can be diffused from n side to p side. It means that electrons can be diffused from conduction band of n side to the conduction band of p side. So all these electrons, they can enter from the conduction band of n side to the conduction band of p side. So if electrons are coming from n side to p side, it means that they will leave behind holes in the p region. So in other words, we can say that transfer of holes will also takes place from the valence band of p side to the valence band of n side. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर से इधर जा रहे हैं, it means that what they will leave behind? They will leave behind holes, and you know that holes will always occupy their position in the valence band. So these holes they will be transferred from P side to N side because these holes are connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So this positive terminal of the battery, it will push these holes to help them to work against the potential barrier and get diffused from P side to N side. But the transfer of holes will take place only inside the valence band. So the holes will get transferred from valence band of P-type semiconductor to the valence band of N-type semiconductor, while this negative terminal of the battery, it will push these electrons which are present in the conduction band, so that electrons are diffused from conduction band of N-type semiconductor to the conduction band of P-type semiconductor. And hence transfer of majority charge carriers takes place when the diode is connected in forward bias mode, and then the majority current flows in the circuit. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So here this equation is important for you. Objective type question में इस पे question पूछ सकते हैं that in zero bias situation what is the amount of energy gap which exists between the conduction band of N side and conduction band of P side. The amount of that energy gap is E into Vb, where Vb is the barrier potential and E is charge of the electron. While in an objective type question, it may be asked that what will happen on the energy gap in case of a PN junction diode when it is connected in forward bias mode, or by which amount the energy gap between the conduction band of N side and P side is reduced when the diode is connected in forward bias mode. So you should know this amount, that it should be E into Vb minus Vf. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The energy gap between the conduction band of N side and the conduction band of P side is reduced. It is reduced by an amount. It is reduced by an amount which is E into Vb minus Vf when diode is connected in forward bias mode. Also observe here that earlier when the diode is connected in forward bias mode, here you can see that the two Fermi levels, that is Fermi level associated with P-type semiconductor, was aligned with the Fermi level for N-type semiconductor. This was the case when the diode is in zero bias mode. But when the diode is connected in forward bias mode, what do you observe over here about the position of Fermi level? Now this is the new position of Fermi level for N-type semiconductor. What is the change that you observe? This is the position of Fermi level in zero bias. While this is the new position of Fermi level that is in forward bias. What do you observe? What is the change? As we connect this PN junction diode in forward bias mode, what happens to the energy level? This negative terminal of the battery is providing energy to the electrons present in the conduction band. So that is why the whole conduction band shift towards higher energy side. So it will take the position of Fermi level also towards higher energy side. So here you can see that the position of Fermi level for N-type semiconductor, it will also shift towards higher energy side as compared to the position of Fermi level for P-type semiconductor. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The position of Fermi level will also shift towards higher energy side when it is connected in forward bias mode. इस पे भी objective type question आ सकता है. That the position of Fermi levels for P-type and N-type semiconductor in zero bias situation are, और option में रह सकता है aligned, raised, lowered, constant, no effect, ऐसे option रह सकते हैं. So in zero bias situation they are aligned initially, but when a PN junction diode is connected in forward bias mode, then the position of Fermi level for N-type semiconductor, it is raised towards higher energy as compared to that of the position of Fermi level for P-type semiconductor. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now then next is the band picture of diode in reverse bias mode. So what will happen in reverse bias mode? For reverse bias, this P side is connected to positive terminal of the battery, while this N side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. And if say VR is my reverse potential, so what will happen? Now you are going to explain this, any one of you. So earlier in zero bias situation, the two Fermi levels are in align with each other. तो यहाँ पे EFP और EFN की लेवल एक दूसरे से मैच कर रही है in zero bias situation. But as soon as I connect it in reverse bias mode, what will happen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. These electrons which are present in the conduction band, they are connected to which terminal? Sorry, I have connected it in forward bias only.
Yes, sir. P type negative.
Yeah. This P type is connected to the negative terminal, while this N side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and let us say that this VR is the reverse potential. Then what will happen to these electrons? For diffusion current to flow, we require that the electrons should be diffused from conduction band of N side to the conduction band of P side through the depletion region. So this is the depletion region which exists between P side and N side, and we require that these electrons should be diffused from conduction band of P side to N side, and we require that holes should be diffused from valence band of P side to valence band of N side. But if these electrons, if they are connected to the positive terminal of the battery, then why do these electrons follow this path? Will they follow this path?
No.
No. Instead of following this path, electrons being negatively charged particles, they will directly get attracted to the positive terminal of the battery, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if electrons are connected to the positive terminal and they get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, it means that the number of electrons which are present in the conduction band of N-type semiconductor, it is reduced, isn't it? अगर यहाँ
Yes,
पे पहले
sir.
10 थे, 5 इधर चले गए, तो इसमें कितने रह गए? Only 5.
5.
So the energy associated with the conduction band, it depends upon what? It depends upon the number of charge carriers. So if the number of charge carriers is reduced, then the energy associated with the conduction band will also be reduced. So if the energy associated with conduction band is reduced, so this conduction band as compared to that of zero bias situation, zero bias में अगर ये वाला conduction band का position है, now the conduction band will shift towards lower energy side. So this will be the new position of conduction band for N-type semiconductor. So the valence band will also shift towards lower energy side for N-type semiconductor, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this will be the new energy band diagram for the PN junction diode when it is connected in reverse bias mode as compared to that of zero bias. So this is the band picture in zero bias, while this is the new band picture in reverse bias, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So earlier,
Yes, sir.
what was the amount of energy gap which existed between the conduction band of N side and P side? What is this amount of energy gap?
2 VP minus
No, in zero bias situation,
E V B.
it was E into VB. In zero bias situation, it was E into VB. Now what you observe here, the energy gap is increased between the conduction band of N side and conduction band of P side. Now it will increase by an amount which is E into VB plus VR, where this VR is the reverse potential. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So by applying the reverse potential, by applying the reverse potential, it is going to increase the energy gap between the conduction band of N side and conduction band of P side, and it will increase it by an amount which is E into VB plus VR. ये अमाउंट कितना है ये आपको याद रहना चाहिए. So if this energy gap is increased, it means that the width of the depletion region which exists between P side and N side, the width of this depletion region will also increase, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So when the diode is connected in forward bias mode, we observe that the width of the depletion region is reduced, while when the diode is connected in reverse bias mode, the width of the depletion region will increase. So these electrons, they will face an upward potential step. These electrons, they will face an upward potential step. Upward potential step means they will face this huge energy gap which is of the order of E into VB plus VR, and therefore these electrons, they cannot be diffused from conduction band of P side to the conduction band of N side. And similarly, if electrons are not diffused from N side to P side, it means that holes cannot be diffused from the valence band of P side to the valence band of N side. So this diffusion of holes is practically impossible. Similarly, the diffusion of electrons from conduction band of N side to the conduction band of P side is impossible, and therefore when diode is connected in reverse bias mode, then the diode will remain practically off. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But what will happen to the minority charge carriers? What will happen to the minority charge carriers?
They move.
There are some minority charge carriers such as electrons which are present in the conduction band of P side, and there are some minority charge carriers which are holes present in the valence band of N side. Now the applied reverse potential, how does it work to these minority charge carriers? These holes are connected to the positive terminal of the battery, while these electrons are connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Now these electrons, they are pushed by the negative terminal of the battery, and these electrons, they will, as they find a lower potential step, because the energy associated with the conduction band of N side is at lower energy side as compared to the energy associated with conduction band of P-type semiconductor, and therefore these electrons, they can easily roll down through this depletion region and enter into the conduction band. Similarly, these holes, since electrons are diffused, that is the minority charge carriers are diffused, it means that holes are diffused from valence band of N side to the valence band of P side. So whatever the current flows in case of a diode in reverse bias mode, that is due to only the minority charge carriers. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So only the transfer of minority charge carrier takes place in case of a diode in reverse bias mode. So you should be knowing for MCQ type examination, you should be knowing about the fact that the energy gap, please note down this point, that energy gap which exists between the conduction band of N type and conduction band of P type, this energy gap is of the order of E into VB, where VB is the barrier potential and E is charge of the electron. This is the case for zero bias situation, while for forward bias, this amount of energy gap is reduced. It is reduced by an amount which is E into VB minus VF, where VF is the forward potential, while in reverse bias mode, this energy gap is increased by an amount which is E into VB plus VR. Is this clear? Please note down this.
Yes, sir.
These are important
Yes, sir.
from MCQ type examination. Okay, so we'll stop here.